Kerry arrives in Geneva for nuclear talks with Iran. Yakimovich wins third slot on Labour list led by Herzog. French rush to buy new Charlie Hebdo edition. And Brazilian Krav Maga delegation visits Israel. Shalom and welcome to the Jerusalem Post News. The top stories for January 14th. US Secretary of State John Kerry arrived in Geneva last night for nuclear talks with his Iranian counterpart Mohammad Javad Zarif. The meeting is a bid to revive the search for a nuclear deal after negotiators failed for the second time in November to meet a self-imposed deadline. The US State Department has stressed that any bill from Congress regarding new nuclear-related sanctions on Iran during international talks will be vetoed by US President Barack Obama. Talks between Iran, the permanent 5 members of the UN Security Council, and Germany are resuming in Geneva this week. The official results of the Labour primary were announced this morning, putting former chair Shelley Yakimovich in the third slot after her successor Isaac Herzog and Hatznawar head Tzipi Livni. Labour members voted for candidates who concentrate on socio-economic issues, putting the leaders of the 2011 socio-economic protests, Stav Shafir and Ditzik Shmuley, in 4th and 5th place. The remainder of Labour's top 10 will be MKs Omer Bar-Lev, Hilik Bar, Amir Peretz, Mirav Michaeli and Eitan Kabel. The results were a disappointment for Kabel, who was considered a favourite for the third slot. The first edition of Charlie Hebdo, published after last week's deadly attack on the paper, sold out within minutes at kiosks around France today. The front page of Charlie Hebdo's January 14th edition shows a cartoon of a tearful Mohammed with a sign Je suis Charlie below the headline Tout est pardonné, meaning all is forgiven. The first 3 million copies of the paper was sold out, prompting the print of an extra 2 million. Its usual circulation is 60,000. All proceeds from the sale of this week's edition will go directly to Charlie Hebdo, in a windfall for a publication that has been struggling financially after distributors decided to waive their cut. The cover price was €3. A call for donations has also been aired on national media.
Ce matin, j'ai déjà fait 5 libraires. Il est moins de 7 heures et donc pas un seul. Ils sont tous déjà partis. Je pense que les libraires auraient aimé en avoir bien plus. C'est ce que me disait. Si j'en aurais eu 200, je les aurais vendus aussi vite. Mais voilà. Donc là, je fais la queue dans le dernier qui va ouvrir pour essayer d'en avoir un souvenir de la manif de dimanche. Voilà.
30 exemplaires, on en a commandé 515 et voilà, et bon, nos réservations, il y en a à peu près 200. On peut pas faire face.
Il faut avoir Charlie. On est tous Charlie.
And a group of Krav Maga practicing Brazilians are currently in Israel getting acquainted with the country where the self-defense system was developed. The group is led by Master Kobi Lichtenstein, the Israeli who founded the South American Federation of Krav Maga in Brazil. The group is training in historic sites around Israel and learning about the country's history. Yesterday, we took a peek into one of their training sessions at the Wingate Institute in Netanya.
Self-confidence before, now I have at least a little bit. And this made a difference in my life. It's really important, especially for the women, because bad people used to choose the woman because they look like not too strong.
There is a saying that violence it's self-defense. When you teach it, when you do it in intelligence, it's not violence, it's self-defense. Violence out of self-defense, it's not violence, it's intelligence. So it can be violent, but only if I have no choice. It's me or him, it's me.
And that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with more news from Israel. Until then, shalom from the Jerusalem Post studios.